Hello once again to the English class. I'm Wafa Choudhury, your lecturer for today, and I'm from Cambrian College. And today, our lecture is based on reading, and my topic today is developing reading comprehension skills. Okay, so reading is one type of language skill, but is it necessary to learn reading? How about comprehension? That means to understand. Isn't it important to understand what you read? For those who are willing to learn a language, and for those who are teaching the language, today I'm going to present you with some important tips on how we can develop or improve our reading comprehension skills. Okay, and reading comprehension is a section in our literature or language, and we use this exercise to develop our comprehension skills. So here we go. What should we do first before we teach the language skill, reading language skill? Okay. First, before we learn reading or before we do the exercises on reading, what should we do? We should learn the basic reading skills. Okay. What are the things we should do first? First, we should share stories. Why? To build curiosity, imagination, and thinking skills. For example, when a child is beginning to read and is beginning to learn how to read after learning the alphabets, why do we need to share stories? So the child can build curiosity. This is also applicable in our classroom or when you are studying by yourself. Okay? And we are also doing reading to create imaginations and to improve our thinking skills. And if we help them share stories, or if students share stories with one another, or if the teacher shares stories with the students, what will happen? They will be more willing to read. And our second point, learn, recognize, and understand new words before reading. Why do we need to learn the basic reading skills? Another reason is we have to learn and recognize new words. Okay? The more we read, the more we learn new words, and the more we understand what we are reading. Always remember that reading is just a practice. If you practice more, the more you will understand. Okay? And the third point, use illustrations to understand the plot and new words. Okay, so when you are beginning to read, try to use illustrations. Okay, that means you can use pictures to understand. Okay, so let me give you an example here. Here's an English language book, and in this book there is a story and there are pictures on the top. Okay, the more pictures, the more it will help you to understand. And why will it help you to understand? Because in the pictures, half of your imaginations are done when you are seeing the pictures. And if you don't understand some meaning of the words, or if you don't understand the plot, the picture will help you to visualize. Our next point, learn word sounds and how they are pronounced along with spelling. When you are reading, you are not only learning to read. Along with it, you are learning how to pronounce words. And you are also learning the spelling of the words because you are seeing it every day when you are reading. Okay? Another one, ask questions about what is read. When you are reading, it will help you to ask more and more questions, and the more you ask, the more you will learn. So it is helping you to gain knowledge. Okay? What else should we do to improve our basic reading skills? We can go to the library to do research work. When we are doing research work, we are reading more and we are getting more and more information. Okay? And then, finally, try reading aloud too. If you read aloud, what is happening? You are listening to your own voice, your own pronunciation, and you will be aware of your own pronunciation too. Moreover, it's also going to help you recover from shyness. Okay? Let's go to the next slide. what else can we do to improve our reading comprehension skills? We can work on reading comprehension, okay? So, when we are reading a text, we should try to find out what is it that we are talking about. So, what are we talking about when we are reading a text? What are they talking about? What is the author talking about? Or what is the writer talking about? Okay? For example, are they talking about people? Are they talking about a particular place, a thing, or are they talking about a particular event? Which one? We find out when we are reading. And we are also trying to find out what people appear like. Okay? When we watch movies, we directly see what the people appear like. But when we are reading a story, we use our imaginations. Okay? Through reading the text, there are descriptions of what the people appear like. What is their mood? Are they happy? Or are they angry? Or are they worried? About the physique, do they look like? What is their height? What about complexion? If we try to find out all these, we can also find out what the background of the character is. Other than people, there are also expressions on the characters' faces. So, what are the characters experiencing? Are they happy? Are they tired, angry, worried, or what? We also find out how the articles are set up in a room. So, if we know how the articles are set up in a room, we will also know the background of the room. We will also try to find out where the setting took place. And if we know what the articles are in the background, we will know the plot about something about the plot too. For example, if in that place there are sofas, TV, then we will know that the characters are in a drawing room or a living room. Or if in the background there are coconut trees or sea beach, ocean, then we will know that the characters are on a sea beach. Okay? And we can also take a look at the sun, the description of the sun. So we will know what time the story took place. We can also try to find out how it can be related to real life. We try to imagine how it is related to our real life. If we try to relate it, then we can use our imaginations more. Okay? And this is important for background knowledge. We can use our background knowledge from it. Moving on to the next slide. We also can make inferences to develop our reading comprehension skills. Now, what is inference? Making inference means you are guessing something. And why do we need to guess? Like I told you, that we need to use our imaginations too. Okay? Now, how can we use our imaginations to do some guesswork while we are reading something? You can use clues from the text to figure out meanings of words unknown to you. Teachers, you can also help them use the clues from the context to help them figure out what is unknown. Okay? For example, he'll travel to Canada and then to Japan. Suppose your students don't know the meaning of travel. Okay? They can use their imagination. If they know the meaning of Canada and Japan, they know that this is the name of a place, a country, and they will know the meaning of travel at that time. Okay? Second point, be able to identify and recognize pronouns. When you are doing the guessing, you will be able to identify and recognize pronouns. You should be able to identify the pronouns. Okay? For example, first let me ask you, what are the pronouns? The pronouns are the words we use instead of the nouns, such as they, we, you, he, she, it. Okay, so if these words are included in the text, another something related, use clues to identify personalities, beliefs, motivations, and beliefs of characters. While you are trying to figure out who the character is or what the character is doing, you are also trying to find out the personality of the character. What is the character trying to think or do? Okay, for example, CK wants her own picture on the magazine cover. Like I told you, we are trying to find out from the pronouns who that person is. Okay, here the word her. Now who is CK? If we look at the word her, we will know that CK is a name of a female, a woman or a girl. Okay, and what is the belief or motivation of that girl? She wants her own picture on the magazine cover. So that means the person is trying to be famous, or the person is already famous. He wants to make sure that people know her through magazine. Okay, so that is her motivation. More on making inferences. Use the reading to provide clues and information about the setting or venue. Like I told you, when we read about the setting or venue, we have to understand from the clues. Okay, the clues are given in the text indirectly, so we have to find out more information about the setting, and we have to work to try to understand the relationships about one character to another. I have just mentioned the 2 points, and now let me give you an example about it. He's with a chef to learn how to cook. Where did the setting take place? Where did this story take place? He's with a chef to learn how to cook. That means the setting is in the kitchen. Okay? And he's with a chef. Now, why is he with the chef? He wants to cook. That is his motivation. And what is the relationship between him and the chef? The chef is the trainer or the mentor, and he wants to be the trainee because he wants to learn how to cook. Okay? Then figure out the bias, if any, that the author has. So you also have to find out whether the author is favoring one character and not the other. And why is the author favoring one character over the other? Why does the author want one character to improve more and speaks less of the other character? Does the author want to teach us something here? And if the author wants to teach us something, what is it? Then offer alternate conclusions and explore the conclusions made in the text. Finally, after you have read the whole of the text or the whole of the story, you are going to come to a conclusion. You're going to ask yourself, what have you learned here? What happened? What would happen next? What happened in the middle? What happened in the end? Okay? Try to guess what the main theme is of the text or the story. Then, after you have read everything in the text, make comments. Okay? Now, what can we make comments about? We can make comments about the character and how they act. Okay? After we make comments about the character, we can also find out why they did this, why they acted like this, and who the characters are. Okay? Because we're trying to find out and we're trying to understand after reading the text. And you can also make comments about the pronouns in the text and what they mean. Okay, there will be several pronouns, and what are the pronouns indicating? Who are they indicating? Okay, for example, they didn't want to go. Okay, here, they is the pronoun. They means who? We're going to try to figure out from the previous sentence or the sentence that comes later, who does they mean? Why don't they want to go? Is there any problem with them? Where do they don't want to go? Okay? Then make comments about why the character acted the way they did. Okay? Suppose in the story or in the text, the author is saying that one character is sad or one character and the character is crying. Okay? So make comments. why is the character crying, or why is the character sad? Okay, is there any clues in the previous paragraph or the next paragraph? While you are making comments, you will figure out more and more, because the more you are reading, the more you are comprehending. And you can also make comments about the setting. That means the place. Where did the story take place? And why are they in that place? What are they doing, or what are they going to do in that place? Okay? Then, what happened and why? Try to figure out what happened in the story and why did it happen. Okay? Because you're trying to understand after reading. That is what reading comprehension is about, right? You're going to ask how the characters acted and why. How did the characters act in the story or in the text? Okay? And why did they act? Because when you are doing reading comprehension, there might be a set of questions, and you will be able to answer those questions if you try to brainstorm. Then, make comments about the meaning of the words. While you are reading, you will find out different meanings of words, different meanings of the whole plot, and the meaning of the overall story, okay? And the purpose of the story too. And there are some words which you don't need dictionary to find out the meaning. You can understand from the clues. Finally, why is reading comprehension necessary? Is it necessary? Of course, we're doing it in class, we're doing it in the exam also, we're doing it while we're studying literature, language, or sometimes in other subjects also, to get the inner concept. Like I told you in the beginning, reading is not enough. Anyone can learn how to read, but understanding after reading something is also important. Otherwise, what's the use of reading it if you don't understand something? You can read a newspaper or a book in another language, but you also have to understand the meaning. Otherwise, the reading task is useless, right? And also, we read because we want to gain knowledge. I also told you before that the more we read, the more we gain knowledge. To remove confusion, we also want to remove confusion. That's why we read, and that's why we try to comprehend. Okay? It helps the teacher to teach easily. Okay? If you understand after reading a book, your teacher will find it easy to teach you more. Okay? So you're also helping the teacher to teach you. Then it helps to raise and ask more questions. The more you read, the more questions there will be in your mind, because you are comprehending, you're trying to comprehend, you're trying to brainstorm also. While you are reading, you're already brainstorming. So there will be more questions raised in your mind, and the more the questions that is raised in your mind, the more you will ask, and the more you will also gain knowledge. Okay? It helps to visualize and improve thinking skills. Like I told you, we not only learn by seeing, we can also visualize in our mind whatever we read. Okay? We can use pictures, mental pictures in our mind while we are reading, because we are using our imaginations. And the more we are imagining after reading, the more it will improve our thinking skills. The more we will be able to think, the more we will be able to use our common sense, and the more we will be able to answer several questions, even if they are difficult or critical. It helps to increase word power and improve language skills. Okay, so I would like to suggest in the middle that you should learn reading and you should practice reading from a younger age, because if you practice, the more you practice, it will become a habit, and you will have the habit of reading more and more. And the more you read, the more you will gain word power, and the more you will improve in language. You will improve your language skills. And if you have word power and improved language skills, it will also help you to become a good leader because you know how to use the appropriate language. It will help you to become a good teacher too because you have enough word and vocabulary within you. Okay? So that's all for today. That's all on the language class, and I hope next time we will come back with more language tips on how to improve our language skills. And like I said, the more you practice, the more you will improve your language skills. Reading is one of them. Not only reading will do, try to figure out the meanings of the words, and the more you will learn. That's all for today. Thank you.